Good morning and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. This is GordonStateWeather.com, New Jersey, and the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's holiday weather news portal. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. This is the big getaway day on Wednesday, December 23rd, and it's a busy one. There are some road closures in Pennsylvania, and it's just a mess in northern New Jersey as well in the New York City metropolitan area and Philadelphia area too because of the rainfall that we've just received over the last 24 hours. This is the daily video forecast discussion for Wednesday, November 23rd, 2011. And as suspected today, we are finding rain leaving the area, but there's still quite a lot of heavy rain down through the Delmarva, pushing off the coast now into south of New York City and Long Island and into Connecticut. It's raining quite heavily across the Cape and up in northern New England. And temperatures are already falling through the 40s and so even some upper 30s across the very, very high terrain of Orange County in New York and up there near just north of Port Jervis. Everywhere else, temperatures are still generally in the 50s, and the rain is right around the coast and pushing rapidly to the east. Watches and warnings are covering the entire state of New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania. In this area in Pennsylvania, where we have aerial flood warnings until around noontime today, there's been several inches of rainfall. There are county roads and state highways in this area here near Fredericksburg, Pennsylvania, which are closed this morning as a result of all the rainfall that just came through overnight tonight. And the green boxes here, aerial flood warnings until 1 o'clock. We've got coastal flood watches until 1 p.m. this afternoon, and of course small craft advisories for the waters here until 6 p.m. tonight. The good news this morning on the air front is, on the air travel, is that we don't have any, delays or on departures this morning across any of the airports here from Maine all the way down through the northern mid-Atlantic. So that's good if you're taking off this morning on the big getaway to get to see family for tomorrow. And all those river and watch warnings, flash flood warnings and watches and aerial concerns here this morning, we do have in northern New Jersey some of the rivers here, the Raritan and parts of the Passaic, also nearing flood stage. And if we look towards the next 48 hours, we find a bunch of them here in Boonton at the reservoir above and below. We're finding near flood stage forecasted, also down in the Millington near Chatham, and also in the Bound Brook area, and also Manville and points to the Raritan near flood stage. Areas also near Staten near flood stage this morning, or will be during this afternoon, and then begin to crest and then drop back below flood stage tomorrow. On the Pompton Plains, it's near flood stage over the next couple of hours, also near the Wanacue, minor flooding. So expect some travel delays this morning as a result of some of the roads being closed off because of the waters continuing to rise. It's going to take another 12 hours before these begin to subside, but hopefully they will do so just in time. And taking a look at the water vapor across the northern mid-Atlantic this morning, here's our surface low pressure across central Pennsylvania. And the winds are all the way out and gusting now from the north and northwest. Look at how tightly packed these isobars here. And these are the blue top clouds here are the very, very high top clouds. That's where most of the heavier rain is now lifting through. And still we've got a considerable amount of that across Pennsylvania into the Delmarva region. We just showed that to you on the radar. Let's take that off and put sea level pressure and put in the theta E, and the theta E ridge is right in here, so that's where the heavier moisture plume is located. Pressure falls, well, they're considering considerably falling now, and that's where the heavier precipitation is moving all the way to the northeast. We've got big pressure falls off the coast here of southern New England, as well as the low pressure that is moving through central Pennsylvania and up towards western New York this morning. Pressure falls greater than 4. Actually, these are rising here. They're falling over to the northeast. Sorry, I can't read that too good. And we can see also from the satellite view overlaid with the wind barbs that the cold front is actually just getting into central Pennsylvania now. The winds are southwest, and they're still out of the northeast because of the high pressure ridge here over southern New England right into the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area. So it's a tight pressure gradient that's going to be over this area during this afternoon, and that's when the winds are going to rapidly start to increase. We've got winds already out of the west across central Pennsylvania, and if we overlay these with some of the wind gusts that we're experiencing this morning, winds are pretty strong now. They're better than 15 to 20 miles an hour with some higher gusts now across Pennsylvania and the Ohio Valley, down through the Virginias, and some of this is going to mix down as this large tongue of red and black in here. That's a lot of clearing in the in the area of low pressure and around the area of low pressure as dry air begins to feed into the system. As the low begins to move into southern New England, the cold front comes through during this afternoon. Maybe just a spoke or two of some clouds this afternoon, but the air is rapidly drying here. If we take off the wind gust and put in the dew points, we'll find out the dew points are in the 50s and 60s here, pooling a lot of moisture into off the Atlantic. But if we go back now through Pennsylvania, they're dropping down precipitably through the 40s. And then as you get further into southern New York, or southeastern New York, the Great Lakes and that area there, dew points dropping down well through the 30s and the 20s. So a lot of drying air also coming into the forecast area for later this afternoon, right through the holiday. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, and this will probably be ongoing through this morning in many other areas too, we've got flooding on New Jersey 29, also flooding on US 22, 35, US 130, also I-95. There's flooding in the westbound ramp near Robbinsville ramp is closed, and flooding at early this morning on US 206 near Griggstown Road in Montgomery Township. So a lot of road closures going to be ongoing this afternoon. Don't forget the rain is still going to bring down the leaves and clog up the drains, so that's going to exacerbate the problem a little bit over the next 24 hours. And this is the latest forecast from the NAM WRF model off the Penn State eWall site. And you can see this morning the cloud and rain shield as we move in time. The rain with the upper low that's going to move directly across the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area this afternoon. Still be quite a lot of clouds, but you can see the breaks in the clouds as the drier air is starting to work down to the mid and lower layers of the atmosphere, and the rain precipitation chances here, even through Pennsylvania and northern New Jersey, become way scattered and begin to dry out. And as we go through time, the skies will rapidly clear off tonight, but the winds are going to start howling, and we'll show you that in just a moment. We could have winds at 15 to 25 miles an hour with some higher gusts, especially late this afternoon and overnight tonight, and that could bring down some additional tree limbs and possibly more leaves to clog some of the drains. And there's quite a lot of flooding that's already going to be ongoing, whether it's street flooding or river and stream flooding across the New Jersey, Philadelphia metropolitan area during this afternoon and this evening. But hopefully this will begin to abate, not showing subsidence in the upper levels of the atmosphere. A lot of clear skies here. The whites are generally all clear. These are the clouds back in here. And we're not really anticipating any major cloud cover in the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area once this evening goes through, once we get past this evening. And the forecast charts for late this afternoon, actually tonight and overnight into tomorrow morning. Here's the front. It's all the way well off the coast. High pressure on northerly winds coming in. Those winds are going to be strong for a period during tonight, and then they'll begin to abate as this upper area of low pressure moves further away, and high pressure ridges in from the Ohio Valley all the way to Texas tomorrow morning. The winds are going to begin to abate, and high pressure is going to be in control of our weather on Thanksgiving, with lots of sunshine and temperatures generally running in the upper 40s to the lower 50s across the New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia metropolitan area. And that fine weather is going to continue right through tomorrow evening and also into Saturday. And the GFS surface model, we'll start this off on Friday morning. Tomorrow morning, here's our high pressure cell right across the eastern United States. Lots of clear skies coming into the forecast area here. Still could be some upper clouds, mid and high level clouds over the top of the ridge here through the Great Lakes and into New York State, but nothing really affecting us. Subsidence and dry air in the mid and lower layers of the atmosphere providing lots of clearing here after midnight tonight, especially late tonight into Thursday. For the parade, the Thanksgiving Day parade in New York City and many other cities as well. And let's move the maps now into the future, and this is where things are going to get interesting. We're going to have northern stream and southern stream energy trying to phase early next week, and that's what the modeling is having such a difficult time for. This is going to become a closed low across the Tennessee and Mississippi Valley late this weekend. And as we can see, it's already forming an upper level low that's a cutoff low here across the southeast, Arkansas and Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama. And high pressure is going to be off the coast. The winds are going to turn to the east, southeast, and a plume of moisture is just going to be influxing itself into off of the ocean. And that means that the forecast is going to be deterministically viewed as low confidence as we get into the period on Tuesday and especially into Wednesday. The GFS wants to bring the upper low towards the Ohio Valley, and a big slug of southeasterly winds producing a lot of rainfall from off the ocean for the Carolinas into central Pennsylvania. Less heavier rain across New Jersey at that time on Tuesday afternoon, but then the rain does move through, and it could be a moderate to heavy rain again around here Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening, and into early Wednesday morning, and then that low begins to fill and move into southeastern Canada. High pressure once again begins into control, but here's a new trough and cold front coming through the Great Lakes region next Friday, and you can already see the height falls as very, very chilly air and thicknesses coming into northern New England by later next week. So we're going to be dealing with quite a change in the weather, going from a mild period this weekend to rain on Tuesday and Tuesday night, and then a temporary break maybe on Thursday at best, and then by Friday and Saturday the cold front comes through and very, very chilly air comes into the eastern United States. We can see these thicknesses here, 530, 528, 540. This is indicative of some very chilly air right across the northern New England and the mid-Atlantic coast states for next weekend. And then as that lifts out into the northeast Atlantic, high pressure comes back into control, and then a warming phase again by the early part of December going into, because December actually starts next Thursday, and then things do get interesting again according to the GFS as we get further into the first week. Another storm develops across the Mississippi Valley, and then that, of course, that's going to provide us with in the 384 hours. So this is just wish casting at this time, but this gives you an idea of where the forecast models want to generate some weather here. So that's going to do it. Be careful out there traveling today, and have a happy and safe Thanksgiving to all of us, from all of us here at the Weather Center to all of you, our listeners and followers here at GardenStateWeather.com, your holiday weather regional portal for weather, GardenStateWeather.com. And I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Happy Thanksgiving. We are not going to do a broadcast on Thanksgiving. We'll be back on Black Friday morning.